of the things we talk about throughout the Myths of Social Media book is data and how it's being collected, what data people are sharing, why and how, and what you need to know about it. And one of the ways we look at it in one of the chapters is on digital footprints. And so a digital footprint is essentially all the data you leave behind when you're on the internet. Basically, any website you visit, any social networking site you use, anything you post, anything you download, all leave some sort of track, some sort of history of information. Sometimes it's very clear, so you're doing something purposefully, like posting a photo, posting a status update, sending someone some information. Sometimes you're just browsing and clicking on things, reading news stories or searching for things. But all of that leaves a trace, often a trace that's connected with you, and that gives different websites, companies, people information about you. So all of that forms a kind of composite image, so people know what they might want to sell to you, what ads to target you with, what links to show on your social media page. All of that stuff is kind of shaped by your behavior online. And there's two ways of looking at digital footprints. The first is an active footprint. And an active footprint is stuff that you post deliberately. That's your LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook profile. It's everything that you share on there. It's all the pictures you upload. It's all the information you deliberately put online that you want to be online, at least when you're posting it. But it's the stuff that you put there deliberately and can be found in that way. Often it's public information. And so those active footprints are really important and really clear in shaping how people see you online, what comes up if people search for you, what your friends are seeing about you. But the second type is passive digital footprints. And that's all the information that is collected about you without you knowing or without you deliberately posting it. So things like your search history. Whatever you search in a search engine is being stored, saved, recorded about you. Things that you click on, links that you click on are being stored and saved about you. So companies start to build up these profiles of what kind of things people like, what kind of things they click on, sometimes what kind of things you're clicking on or reading about at certain times of day or certain times in the week, to get a picture of the kind of things you might want to buy, the kind of things you might want to see more online, the kind of things that might get you onto their website. But there's a lot of data that is collected passively about people. Even things like your location, right? Whenever you post a status, you might be posting part of your active footprint, which is what you're trying to post. But there's all sorts of other information that's collected about you, like where you're posting from, what your geographic location is, what the time of day is. Maybe that's passive or active. But all of that is used to create a kind of composite image, and it's being stored and recorded and connected with you and your digital identity. So there's not really a way to stop all of it. There's definitely ways and tools of blocking a lot of the information that's collected about you. And I talk about that in a different chapter. There's a whole chapter dedicated to kind of tools and techniques to protecting your data and information and identity. But you can't completely stop it. You can't prevent all of it. And you wouldn't necessarily want to, because a lot of it is being done to make things more interesting, hopefully, for you, to show you stuff that companies know you want to see, instead of showing you a whole reams and reams of boring, irrelevant stuff that you don't really want to see on the internet, because there's more of that than there is relevant stuff online. But the thing that you need to know is what's being collected and how it's being collected and why it's being collected. Because if you know where and how and why it's collected, you can have more of an active role in shaping your digital footprint. Because ideally, what you want to know is understand what's being collected and why, and then being more kind of active about managing how you use the internet and what kind of data you're sharing about yourself. And if there's information that you don't want to make public or you don't want to share widely, to make sure that you're protecting that about yourself. And there's reasons to actively shape your digital footprint, like, it'll affect your job prospects, potentially. A lot of employers, as we talk about in various parts of the book, will look for information about people online, whether they should or not, whether it's legal or not. But if you can actively manage the data that's kind of there in your active footprint, then that's really useful into shaping the information that you want to be online, right? It's like making a resume. You post the information there that you want to. You might not post or put every single bit of your information or your life there, because you only want to post the stuff, show the stuff, share the stuff that's relevant to you and your employer in the workplace. The same is true about the part of yourself that you put online. It's really good to know what's collected actively, what you are posting and sharing, and what's collected automatically that you may not want to share. And if you do that, you'll have a much more active, informed, and clever way of managing yourself and your identity online.